Fly. Should have fucking, Steve, I should have blown my fucking nose before we started, but
it's probably a good idea. Why don't you do it right now, live on the air?
I'm gonna, because you know why? Because fuck them. That's why.
Oh man, not even a 1 minute in, and you got demonetized.
Yeah,
son of a bitch.
I was already demonetized. I mean, come on. It is what it is.
Might as well just put fuck in the title.
I should just say fuck it and go with that. Shit.
So how will we? We're streaming 3 ways tonight. We're doing a 3-way.
Yes, we're doing a 3-way.
Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook.
Yes.
So that's cool.
Yes, I added the Twitch channel. I had it, and I said fuck it, I'll just use it, and I started doing the bedtime stories on it the other day, and I said screw it, start streaming shit. Why not?
Why not? What's
sense.
the viewership like over there, Annie?
It's
going to take time, obviously.
Yeah, it's brand new, so there's only been a couple of views here and there. I think it was 5 on one of them last time I looked, but hey,
0.
Yeah, it is what it is. So let's just get right into it tonight. Why don't we?
You're about to witness the strength of creep knowledge.
Good evening. Welcome to the Fortean Slip. This is episode 178. Bigfoot DNA. Is it out there? Is it? We're going to talk about it. We're going to discuss it in depth. A little.
All right.
That's what we got, Steve.
That's it. That's all we got. That's what we came up with for a topic.
That's what we got.
6-year-old topic.
That's what we got. No, it's kind of in the news.
It is? Oh, well, then maybe I'll learn something tonight. Probably not.
Yeah, it's kind of in the news. Katie, did we replace that story?
In the new, for the news stories?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I found a different one.
Yeah. So, I'll touch base on it right now. So, what is it? That new Bigfoot Expedition Bigfoot, is that what they're called?
Yes.
Who the fuck knows?
So supposedly they did what it's known as trace DNA or some shit like that.
DNA, environmental
DNA. So, which is a thing. Okay, this is an actual thing. And they came up with a primate other than human in their findings.
Who's they?
The Expedition Bigfoot crew.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Russell and his boys.
Yeah, so I don't know what the deal is. So we will get into that a little later. Lance Windsor, howdy ho ho, hi everybody, hi Lance. And he says something about it's the DNA is in Todd's standings.
I think that represents
asshole.
Armpit. Oh, I was going to say armpit. So.
No, I'm going to go with asshole.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
But yeah, so we'll be getting into that a little bit later. Haven't seen Dean much lately, Steve.
He was in here last week.
Was he? Shortly?
So, yeah. He was briefly in here.
I got a question.
He's around.
I got a question for the fuck. He's a bird person.
Not because he came
not
in under
bird
his
person. He what?
Right. He came in under his Facebook profile and then switched over to his YouTube profile halfway through. Yeah.
Profile. Yeah, that's right too. I forgot about that. But I have a question for Mr. Fuck Dean Cooper. I gotta reach out to the ass sometime soon. I know he knows a thing or two about birds. Good question.
Okay. I don't know anything about birds.
Good bird question, Steve. So yeah, I gotta figure that out. Pretty sure my bird is not a male.
Okay, is it a female then?
I think.
Or is it androgynous?
I don't know, Steve. I don't understand these strange dinosaur-like creatures.
Are you trying to assign gender to your fucking bird? Is that what you're doing here?
Well, I'm trying to assign it the gender that it is. That it's presenting.
What if it doesn't want to be that gender?
Then it'll have to fucking tell me. Learn to talk, motherfucker.
So are you trying to look for the little tiny bird penis? Is that what you're trying to do?
I'm pretty sure they don't have those, Steve.
I don't know. I don't know what
do it. You have to sex them a different way. So
I don't know how birds. I don't know how birds do that. I'll have to look. No, I don't want to look.
It's in their cere, the thing above their beak. But I can never fucking figure it out. So anyway, I have to figure that out because I'm pretty sure that my bird is not a male. Pretty sure it's a female, but I need some expert advice, Steve.
So they didn't tell you when you got the damn thing?
No, they don't fucking tell you. They just give you the bird. They just sell the fucking thing to you. That's what they do. That's it. They sell it to you, and then you take care of it. Like you feed it and give it water, and you fucking I take it out of its cage and let it fly around.
But what if you wanted a mating pair? How would you know?
Then I would have chances. Then I'd have to do some research.
Yeah.
But if you go to a pet store, they don't fucking know. Like you go in there and ask them, there's some fucking high school kid or some person who just they don't have a clue.
Yeah, it's a boy.
I Googled it, and birds do not have peni.
That's
they
right,
just
Steve.
Have an opening that they spray with.
Yeah.
Well, that sucks for the bird. Sucks for both of them. Hey, you want to get sprayed tonight?
Hey, some people like that, Steve. So, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Colonel Chubb's showing up tonight, representing. And awesome. Podcast, more like a PODCAST. Huh. Big Boss Man 27. Okay. That's like 2 weeks in a row we've seen Chubbs. Steve, are you lost in your phone now? Did I lose you?
Yeah, stupid eBay stuff.
Oh.
Good. Yeah, Chubb, because we're back on YouTube. That's why.
Yeah.
And that must be the Twitch one. Big Boss Man must be on Twitch there.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so we got somebody who checked it out on Twitch. There you go, Steve. The answer to your question. I didn't even see that. You did.
I know. Because I'm very good at seeing that kind of stuff.
That's right. You're very on the ball. You're on point, Steve. I like it when you're on point. You really bring it.
I don't think
you get your eye on the ball. You get your finger on the pulse. You're one of those types of guys.
I don't think that I've ever brought it. I don't think
that I ever will.
I don't think that I ever will bring it.
I'd love it if you did. If you could, one of these days, fucking bring it, that would be great. I'd really appreciate it.
Well, you don't talk about the stuff I want to talk about, like Andy Kaufman and Elvis. I mean, we did those shows already.
We did Andy Kaufman and Elvis. So what the fuck else are we going to do? You want to go back and do Andy Kaufman and Elvis again? Will that make you feel better?
It's the only time I'm on point.
Yeah, that's true. That is a good fucking point. Steve, you got any news tonight?
Yeah, let me go find it. Play the music. Speaking of Bigfoot, this is from, what is this? OKC Fox. So this is out of Oklahoma City. OKC, I get it now. OKC, Oklahoma City. Yeah. KOCH. This is the television station or news radio. Maybe, I don't know. Oklahoma's bounty on Bigfoot has grown to nearly $2.1 million, only weeks after a bill was proposed to allow capturing of the mythical creature. The number one rule, Sasquatchers.
Are
Why do
you
they always
saying,
have to say mythical?
is it mythical? Well, I mean, Steve, we might be on the page on the side of it's mythical.
We might be. I don't know. They've come up with a new word now. The number one rule, Sasquatchers, I've never heard it presented that way, must capture a Bigfoot unharmed and can't injure anyone else or break any laws in the process. Oklahoma State Rep. Justin Humphrey's original plan suggested lawmakers set aside $25,000 bounty for Bigfoot's capture. State tourism officials are now developing a Bigfoot promotional campaign. What the fuck are they doing in Oklahoma? That includes license plates, decals, and annual commemorative
They're all in.
license. Oh, and they're going to have Bigfoot checkout stations. I don't know what that means. Probably if you catch it, you can check it out somewhere.
No.
The current plan is to allow businesses along State Highway 259A to sell annual Bigfoot tracking permits. Profits from the sales would stay in local communities. Humphrey said his ultimate goal is to draw in tourists by providing safe and affordable fun. It doesn't sound very safe to me. Yeah, let's give people a license to hunt this fucking thing.
That'll work out great.
Yeah, Mr. Humphrey said.
Chubb says, give me the money first and I'll go get Bigfoot.
Yeah, right. All right, so from BBC. We haven't had a story from BBC since Richard was on the show. Hovering ship photographed, because he did the news back then. He got the news for me. Hovering ship photographed off Cornish coast by a walker. Somebody walking, I guess. David Morris took a photograph of the ship near Falmouth, Cornwall. It's an actual ship, not like a UFO. It's a real boat. BBC meteorologist David Brain said the Superior Mirage, they're calling it a mirage, occurred because of special atmospheric conditions that bend light. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Have you seen this photo?
Yeah, I'm going to share it right now.
All right, you share it.
Yeah.
Mr. Morris said he was stunned after capturing the picture while looking out to sea from the hamlet of, I don't know, someplace. Mr. Brain said superior images or mirages occur because the weather condition known as temperature inversion. Oh, God, there they go with the temperature inversion shit again. Where cold air lies close to the sea with warmer air above it. Since cold air is denser than warm air, it bends the light towards the eye of someone standing on the ground or the coast in this case, changing how distant objects appear. That's pretty fucking cool, though.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Yeah, I've seen a couple of videos since then of like people explaining it's like Fata Morgana basically.
Yeah, but that's I don't know. That's just pretty fucking crazy right there.
Yeah, it can happen. It can definitely happen. So,
and our final story. Oh shit! There it is. Okay, from sfgate.com. sfgate.com. Satan tries to get a date on the Boston subway system.
Nice.
Right. The Prince of Darkness is apparently looking for a date on the Boston subway system.
Hey, the devil needs love too.
Yes. A 20-year-old woman approached transit police at the Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority's Forest Hill Station at about 10:45 p.m. Monday to complain about an encounter with a man dressed all in black, including a mask covering his entire face and a hood drawn tight, police said on their website. The woman told police the man typed something on his phone and extended his arm across to her, displaying a message that said, "I am Satan." And then he stared at her. The woman said the encounter frightened her. Yeah, no shit. So she pointed out Satan to the police. The 22-year-old man told officers he was only flirting and trying to be funny. I was going to try to get her number.
Yeah,
He
that's
was,
how you do it.
yeah, that's he was told that his actions were not humorous and was
That's a
ejected
good
from the
answer.
station. The woman was escorted by police to her destination.
Katie, what do you think of that pickup line?
Yeah, never do that. Never.
I am Satan.
I'm Satan. Hey, you want to get a cup of coffee?
Anyhow, that is the news.
Is it? Chubb says that the Earth is round, based on
Yeah, because the photo, the temperature inversion bullshit that they talk about. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Are you a fucking flat earther now?
I am not a flat earther. I am an anti temperature inversioner.
You're an anti-temperature inversion guy, so
Yes.
you're totally against the flat Earth. But Fata Morgana, you're like, fuck that shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they blame that, on all sorts of things on that.
Well, you remember when there was that city in
like
the
swamp
sky
gas
thing?
and shit.
The city in the sky, the one in China. That thing was pretty impressive. It was crazy. And I mean, I don't know, like I didn't see any of the like serious breakdowns of it, but that one seemed pretty out there. I mean, but I could be totally wrong. Like I said, I didn't see any of the stuff that broke it down and said this is exactly how this happened. This is the skyline that it came from. I didn't see any of
fucking
that.
Crazy.
Yeah, but we do know that mirages fucking happen, dude. We know that that's a thing. Like this phenomena does happen.
That boat in that picture was ship, I should say, because they get mad if I say boat. It's not a boat; it's a ship. Was not all that far out. It was rather large in the picture.
Yeah.
So, unless he used some sort of telephoto lens, which I don't believe he did, because he was just walking by, he wouldn't have had a need for that. It seemed awful high off the water, but I guess that does happen. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're being you're thinking too fantastical, Steve.
I like fantastical things.
Your skepticism is slipping. It's slipping a little tonight.
Yeah,
you're like I think there's magic. I think there's some type of magic and sorcery involved here. That ship is floating.
Yeah, we see that. What the fuck was that?
That was the bird, Steve, that I don't know the gender of.
The transgender bird. I got it.
Right. Well, no, it's not technically. No, Steve, that's incorrect. It's unknown at this time to me. I'm sure the fucking bird knows.
Well, how do you know he knows? Or she? Sorry. I assigned gender.
Because I would assume that the bird would just know.
So get a known female bird, put them together, shut the lights off, play some romantic music, and see what happens.
Put a nest in there. Put on some fucking Barry White.
And if that doesn't work, then get the male bird and then see what happens. Of course, what if you get two lesbians or two gays? I don't know how that was. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, then they'd be a fucking same-sex couple like them penguins.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying what.
Right. The ones at the zoo there, and I can't remember where it is, like New York or some shit. There's a pair of fucking same-sex penguins, I think. They're cool. They do their thing. They try to be like normal penguins, I guess, and carry around rocks and shit.
I'll say, didn't they try to steal some other couple's egg?
Oh, yeah. I want to say you're right.
Yeah, 2 males, and he went and stole somebody else's egg.
I want to say you're fucking right, too.
Well, yeah. How else are you going to have kids?
Penguins are fucking interesting creatures. I mean, they live on like one of the most barren places on the fucking planet. Where Kurt Russell had to battle the thing. An alien creature. That's where they come from. So I don't trust them. They could be carrying the thing.
I think they are carrying the thing.
I agree.
I don't even know what the thing is, but
you don't? You've never seen The Thing with Kurt Russell? John Carpenter's The Thing? Oh my!
Does that surprise you? I haven't seen it.
Yeah, like that one kind of does. Like that's a fucking classic horror movie, Steve. That's like, I mean, you had to have like caught it somewhere.
I don't believe so.
Never.
Which what's the premise of this movie?
Okay, so they find this thing in the in the original, this dog comes into the camp. And the dog is carrying the fucking alien. Spoiler alert. You know, for those of you who haven't fucking seen it, a movie that came out in the fucking early 80s. I'm pretty sure on the date on that. And it's carrying the alien. The alien can assume the shape of anything. So it just starts assuming the forms of the human beings and fucking killing everybody. And it's like this fucking weird tentacle type shit monster. Yeah. It's you've never seen this movie.
Not familiar.
I'm torn apart by this, Steve. Have you ever seen like Escape from New York with Kurt Russell?
I think it's safe to say I probably haven't seen any Kurt Russell movies. I mean, if you're going to start naming Kurt Russell movies, I probably haven't seen it.
Wow. Yeah.
Is that a horror movie as well?
Frank Smith. Thank you, Frank. Thank you. Came out in 82. 82, Steve. So if you haven't seen the thing, go fuck yourself. That's what I got to say.
Yeah, no, I don't believe I have. I'm sure my wife has.
It's a great movie. It still holds up. In my opinion, the special effects in the thing to this day still hold up. I can still watch that movie and it's fucking great.
I'm going to Google it.
The Thing with Kurt Russell. Not the fucking prequel that they made in the 2000s. Because they made a prequel, which I also think is good and a lot of other people don't. A lot of other people think that it's shit and it never should have been made. But I think it's decent.
Let me see some photographs from this thing. Maybe I'll recognize something.
You gotta. It's got Wilford Brimley in it. You know, diabetes. Yeah, it's got Wilford Brimley in it.
I don't recall seeing a movie with Kurt Russell and Wilford Brimley.
They're both in it, Steve. They lock him out in the fucking shed. They lock old fucking.
I did see that. You're right. I did see it.
Fuck.
Because I remember now that they locked the guy. Because they thought he was the alien, which I don't think he was, but he was the thing.
Spoiler alert.
I don't remember. Yeah, I did see that. Now that
Alicia and Scotty, the original came out in 1956. Yes, correct. And the book.
And then they get to fire the torch and the flamethrower. Yeah.
Yes.
That. Okay.
And the book or the short novel that it's based on, Who Goes There? I've read that, and it's fucking excellent. For the time that it was written, like in the early 1920s, I think, maybe earlier than that. Fucking crazy good. But yeah, Steve, you've actually seen The Thing.
I think I watched, this last half.
We Sherlock Holmes the shit out of this thing tonight, Steve. You fucking watched The Thing. At least some of it.
My wife was watching it one night, and I joined, I think, in the middle of it, but I got the premise pretty easy. I mean, they locked him out in the shed, and because they thought,
that he was the thing.
Didn't at the end they all died? They blow up the place or some shit.
All right, fucking spoiler alert. We'll fucking just spoil the shit out of this thing. At the end, it's just him and Keith David sitting out in the fucking cold, drinking, waiting to fucking die.
Yeah,
that's the
end.
Yeah. It's a good horror movie. I like me some John Carpenter.
It's been a while.
They Live. They Live's a good movie, I think. I even like John Carpenter's Vampires with fucking Big Dick James Woods. I think fucking James Woods would rival the Sweetwater Legend, Steve. Like his cock is legendary. So I'm pretty sure that he would give the Sweetwater a run for his money. I'm pretty sure. Just saying. But yeah, I like me some fucking John.
I'm not going to compare.
I like me some fucking John Carpenter movies. Halloween. You've seen Halloween, right?
I'm sure I have it. Yeah. Or at least parts of it. Which one is that?
Steve, what's your favorite movie? Wait. What's your favorite horror movie?
I don't watch a lot of horror movies, so I don't know that I have a favorite.
Okay. All right, let's go back to what's your favorite movie, Steve?
I don't watch a lot of movies.
You can't pick one?
Let me think. Stand By Me was good.
All right.
That was a good movie.
Written by a horror author.
The Outsiders was really good.
Okay.
So with all the old ones.
Stay Gold, Pony Boy?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
that was really good. I really enjoyed that one.
I'm sure you did.
The Dukes of Hazzard with Johnny Knoxville, that was pretty decent.
Are you sure?
No. All the Herbie movies.
Just those are top shelf movies, right?
They were great.
Yeah. Oh, sure. I'm with you. I can see where you're at.
Superman, the original, the Superman 1. That was good. I watched that.
That is a good movie.
That was the first one I saw in a theater.
Superman 2 is better.
I saw that as well.
Kneel before Zod.
Yeah.
So that's my list of movies that I've seen.
All right.
The whole list.
I'm with you. You know what you need to do? You need to sit down. You need to watch The Hateful Eight, Steve. That's what you need to do.
It's not going to happen.
You should, though. You'd like it. See, that's the thing. Like, I know if you sat down and watched them, you'd enjoy them. But getting you to fucking do it, that's the hard part.
Yeah. I'm busy.
Oh, yeah.
I can't sit there for 2 hours or an hour and a half, whatever a movie is, and watch the whole damn thing. I just can't do it.
I can.
I got to be doing. I can have it on in the background, but I'll miss most of it.
Right.
So that's. Yeah.
I gotcha. Oh, well, on to our topic of the evening, Steve. Bigfoot DNA. Because I came across the Expedition Bigfoot story. And originally that was going to be in the news for you. But we had decided to change things up because next week we are slated to have Bronx Johnny on. And the following week we're going to have Melanie Kirchdorfer. So that is so this week we decided, fuck it, because we didn't know. We thought we were going to have Johnny this week, but it changed up. So we did this. So here you go. And this is actually something that Steve and I have kind of peripherally been looking at for years with all of this bullshit. Like one of the things that we kind of got to know each other over was the whole, what we're going to start with here, the Melba Ketchum study. There was like a fucking countdown for that thing. You remember the fucking countdown?
Yeah, I was never excited about it. Well, I was excited about it, but
I was
only
never.
Because I knew what was going to happen in the end.
That it was going to be a fucking shit show.
It's a fucking shit show.
Yeah,
they all are. This one will be too.
Oh, so Katie called this the Bigfoot DNA extravaganza, which I think that's what I called it, and she just fucking wrote it at the top. Melba Ketchum's DNA study. Melba Ketchum joined the Bigfoot scene around 2009, presenting as an educated doctor with experience in animal hair and DNA analysis. She had plans in the works to do a massive DNA study to find true DNA evidence to prove Bigfoot's existence. She made TV, radio, and podcast appearances, making a relatively good reputation for herself. She aligned with people in the Bigfoot community like Tom Biscardi and Java Bob, Robert Schmalzbach.
That was the first mistake.
But those relationships did not last long before falling out. Rumors of this DNA study were widespread, and everyone was looking.
Wait. Tom Biscardi, ended a relationship with somebody. That's fucking bad.
Yeah.
I could make money off of you, but no, I'm not getting myself into that shit. Go ahead.
Rumors of this DNA study were widespread, and everyone was looking forward to what it might bring to the table. She touted that it would include 111 specimens of hair, blood, skin, and other tissues. But before its release, leaks were made by former partners of hers that cast doubt on its credibility. The famed Justin Smeha encounter was rumored to be included in her study, but before it could be released, the Bigfoot steak was also tested by Brian Sykes and proved to be from a bear. This was a huge blow to the credibility of both Smeha and Ketchum. But leaks of information and speculation on the study continued until finally in 2013, Ketchum announced that she was being published in a peer-reviewed scientific journal. But to absolutely no one's surprise, this scientific journal was a total fraud. It was a fake journal.
It was owned by her, yeah.
Created by Ketchum with absolutely no other entries or credentials. Whatever point or proof Ketchum was trying to come out with was completely shadowed by the fraud and fuckery surrounding it. I like that, Katie. Even if you were able to set aside the fuckery surrounding it and dissect the study itself, her methods are clearly not scientific, and any conclusions drawn cannot be taken as reliable. Steve and I have seen this fucking study. It is a bag of horse shit.
We're not even scientists, and we can tell it was a bag of horse shit.
Yeah.
What did she? Some of her citations were some like fiction stuff, and citations for this. Oh, it was horrible.
It was. She claimed that these things were angels. I think that's what she fucking came down to. That was like the the final conclusion.
She did eventually backtrack on that, but she did say it.
Yeah.
I have to say that as a very novice enthusiast, I remember following this and being very excited about it. I mean, that was the time that I started following you guys, and that whole Justin Smeha story started. And I remember being so excited about it and then so fucking disappointed. Like, oh man, it was like the biggest letdown, and everything since.
We were all sitting in Team Taser, just it's gonna be a bag of horse. We all knew, like to some degree, that it was gonna be a bag of horse shit. But at the same time, we all sat and waited for what was gonna be said. Like, what is the fuckery that's gonna be stated to the public after all of this? The Erickson I can't remember. Chubbs is saying the Erickson project.
That was Matilda, I think, was part of that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the fucking the rug on the ground.
They haven't released the real evidence yet because why?
Because we'll sit on it.
Yeah, we're going to sit on this evidence for until it's the right time.
Yeah,
it hasn't been the right time in the last 10 years.
No, it'll never be the fucking right time for that shit.
But Moneymaker's all behind that shit, so it must be real.
The Erickson project?
I'm pretty sure he's involved, not involved, but gives it the thumbs up.
Oh, does he now?
Must be real.
Oh, okay. Anywho, so the Ketchum study.
That was the Chewbacca mask thing.
Yes,
the Chewbacca looking one. Yeah,
correct. The Ketchum study, I mean, it really put a sour taste in people's mouth for the whole DNA shit. And I think that people should still go out and try to find, some evidence. But the fact of the matter is, I've said this before and I will say it again. Yes, amateurs can go out in the field and collect evidence. That is absolutely true. However, if you have, people with credentials doing this shit and they're not doing it for a fucking TV show and they're going out there and doing it the proper way, I'd be more inclined to put my fucking stamp of approval on it. And so would a lot of other people. That being said, Bigfoot and DNA. There's no denying it. DNA is the holy grail of the Bigfoot community. Short of dragging in a whole dead body, DNA is what we were all hoping for. Every enthusiast or amateur Bigfoot tracker dreams of finding that hair or piece of scat that breaks the case, but are amateurs and enthusiasts really the ones that should be collecting those samples? The truth is, no. And as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to for me, like I said, to put my stamp of approval on it, I think it's got to be done properly. It's all got to be done like chain of evidence type shit.
Yep.
Most of the people stomping through the woods looking for Bigfoot are not qualified to be collecting a scientific sample correctly. However, and I will state this, however, there are some people that can be.
Yes.
Even in Ketchum's study, not only were her studies and methods themselves questionable, but when you look at the collection methods of the samples she used, they were not done in any kind of proper scientific way. Especially when we are looking for DNA that is suspected of being similar to human DNA, it is crucial that the samples not be contaminated with the DNA of whoever is collecting or handling it. Steve Culls has a credibility as a private investigator. Old fucking tactical boy. And goes into really good detail in his book about how an amateur could correctly collect a quality sample. But even with that, is that enough? There's technically no such thing as a Bigfoot expert. And I'd agree with that. But there is true scientific method. And I also agree with that. I'll tell you one person who understood that, who doesn't really participate in any of this stuff anymore, is David Batdorf.
David Batdorf. Yep.
David was very big into science and how things should be done correctly.
Yeah, I miss him.
Me too. But it's very hard.
David got out when the getting was good.
Yeah, he did. He just saw his stuff fall on a lot of deaf ears, I think. So
nobody cares. Nobody fucking cares. Some of us care. But generally, overall, nobody fucking cares. They don't want real evidence.
Yeah,
and they never have.
But so until the tune changes in the Bigfoot community from cheesy, hoaxy amateurs stomping through the woods to true scientists getting out there and doing professional scientific work, we may never get that anticipated sample to prove Bigfoot is real. And I agree with pretty much all of that. Like I said, there can be people, I think, that can go out into the woods and collect samples. I just think that it should be done by the proper people. And Chubbs is correct too. There's no DNA to compare it to yet. It would just be an unknown sample. That's one of the other problems.
Which would be pretty impressive if you found an unknown primate sample. However,
right, correct.
There's still nothing to compare it to.
Right, nothing
to compare it to. There has to be.
So, and now on to Expedition Bigfoot and the eDNA. The Travel Channel show Expedition Bigfoot season finale is this month, and they are claiming to have made some substantial DNA findings. In Kentucky's Appalachian Highlands, their team collected soil samples from underneath a tree structure that they believe was constructed by Bigfoot. They tested these samples using environmental DNA. This is a process that generates a snapshot of any living creature in the area passing by that specific soil. While eDNA has been used to prove other elusive animals living in different habitats, it hasn't been successfully applied to the Bigfoot mystery. That is until now. According to the Expedition Bigfoot team, Miroslava Munguia, I don't know how to pronounce that one, Ramos from the UCLA eDNA program was the one to test these samples. While she did expect to find human DNA, she was surprised to find DNA of several different primates. This primate DNA that she found is from the pan troglodyte genus, which is a type of chimpanzee. So this would imply that a chimpanzee of some kind is living in that part of the Appalachian Mountains where Bigfoot sightings are regularly reported. This is a bold claim, and more information is yet to be seen. They are using this tidbit to tease their season finale, which airs on March 28th. So, again, I go back to the whole...
Bullshit.
It's a TV show,
Yeah.
for one. You know, I go back to that whole thing when I was on my... Darren... What the fuck was his name? Darren Brown? He's the mentalist there. And I was on this big kick of watching his shit. And I said to my son, I'm like, hey, you gotta check this out. And I'm showing it to him. And I'm like, isn't this fucking cool? Isn't this neat? And he goes, Dad, there's a fucking camera. And I was like, oh, fuck me. Like, there's so much they can do where they can cut shit or take out the shit where they fuck up or, you know.
Okay, so my thoughts on this is if they found non-primate or non-human primate DNA anywhere, it wouldn't come out on a TV show. It would be published in a scientific fucking journal.
Yeah.
Immediately. Not immediately. Yeah. I mean, obviously it would not come out on a TV show. And
no,
it would not be Russell Accord's TV show. I'm just saying.
Gothic Phantom.
Have you watched any of that show yet?
No.
It's fucking hokey as shit. Just like every other one.
Gothic Phantom 01. Trouble is, if a member of the public found potential Bigfoot DNA, who do you pass it to? Doubt many labs and scientists would even consider testing it. And if some labs do, it could go missing. Yeah.
I agree with most of that.
Yeah. I do too.
The missing part, who knows? I mean, who wouldn't want to be the scientist who discovered that shit? I would.
Yeah.
I think any scientist would. So the go missing part, I don't know that I agree with that, but the rest of it I do.
Yeah. You know, of course I would love it if, you know, it came out that this is a definite for fucking real thing. Like, I was a little kid when I saw the fucking Patty film, you know, this fucking thing right here. I was a little kid and it scared the shit out of me and fascinated me at the same time. And I've been fascinated with it ever since. So, and the, who's the other guy there? I'm drawing a blank, Steve. The Freeman footage.
Oh yeah, Freeman.
The Freeman footage. That's another one that I really like. You know, that when I see that footage, I'm like, oh, maybe they're fucking real. But you know, I'm all because of all the bullshit we've seen. I'm so fucking skeptical. Ed Bartle makes for good ratings. Just saying, yeah, Ed, you're on point. It's one of the reasons we're talking about it, because we think that it's a ratings ploy. It's a ratings move.
Of course it is. I mean, it doesn't take any. It doesn't.
I'm with Steve. If they found something conclusive, something substantial, it would be being published somewhere. That there is
in the news somewhere.
Yeah, that there's some type of primate living in that area that isn't human.
I do buy the fact. Where are they researching at? Do you know?
It said so in the thing. I can't remember. Katie, do you remember?
That soil sample was taken in Kentucky, but I guess they did film a lot of that season in Washington as well.
Yeah.
Is it possible? Absolutely. I think, you know, skunk ape down in Florida, I think, you know, that could be a lot of escape type chimpanzees.
Oh, yeah.
So there could be a breeding population there.
Oh, yeah.
But Washington State, I don't know. Kentucky, I don't know. Depends on the terrain and what's going on.
But hey,
there.
Steve, in Oklahoma, you can shoot them.
Oklahoma, yes. No, well, no, you got to bring them in alive.
Oh, you got to bring it in alive?
Yes.
Oh, you can trank it?
Yeah, I would. That's what I would do. You know,
you're not supposed to.
I wouldn't want to bring it in alive, like trying to rope it.
So you can hunt Bigfoot in Oklahoma, but it's like catch and release.
You have to bring it in alive. That's what it said.
Yeah, alive and unharmed.
Unharmed, yes.
And I think they made that stipulation for the protection of other people so that you just don't have crazy Bigfoot hunters shooting at people. So
Because you
at
know there would
least,
be.
right, at
Oh,
least if
fuck
they're
yeah.
tranking him, if it is a guy in a suit, at least he's only tranquilized, you know.
Ed Bartle says
I agree with Ed.
too
Yeah.
cold for the escaped chimps here in Kentucky, but the summers are ideal. Yeah, it's. I mean, if something like that was happening, that would be very odd indeed. Especially just because they would have to adapt to that habitat, and then I don't know that
Not
they're
saying they
capable
couldn't.
that quickly.
You know, I don't know, but I mean, we obviously over time you adapt. We did,
Oh yeah,
but how quick does that actually happen? You know,
yeah,
but in Florida, on the other hand, I think it's a very good possibility that sort of thing could happen.
yeah.
And I think that I think some of the skunk ape sightings are because of that.
Yeah,
So-
I agree. Ed Bartle, he's just bringing it tonight. I lived in Fort Lauderdale. There were all kinds of escape monkeys there. Yeah,
Maybe, just maybe, Tim Fasano's work will pay off someday.
someday. God rest his soul. Is that what you're saying, Steve? Yeah.
I miss Tim.
I missed him. Yeah, so do I. I fucking miss that big motherfucker. Just that barrel of fucking. Rah! I mean, he was just on.
It was
On.
all the time, yeah. Or off, but either way, it was fun.
Yeah, either way, it was hilarious. Oh my god, I couldn't believe that friggin' reporter contacted me for his obituary. I was like, oh, that's all right. Yeah,
Well, he had done some shows with us, and it probably would come up on a Google search. You know?
yeah, that he had done us a couple of times. So, yeah,
I mean, obviously, we get a lot of sightings here in Ohio too, but there's no fucking way a chimpanzee is going to adapt to the winters here. No fucking. And if they can't adapt in Kentucky, they certainly can't adapt here, or where you're at.
Alicia and Scotty, Leo A. Frank has captured some of the best pictures. He claims they are feral humans, though, not Bigfoot.
I have no idea who Leo A. Frank is.
I don't either. Yeah, find out, Steve. Should you do some
If it's one of
investigative
these,
reporting?
if it's one of these, red circle guys.
Ooh, red circle. Love me a
I'm
red
gonna find
circle
out.
guy.
I'm gonna find out.
I used to be a red circle guy in my pictures for my videos on YouTube, Steve.
He used to put them on.
I used to fucking put them on the pictures.
Leo Frank was an American factory superintendent who was convicted in 1913 of a murder of a 13-year-old. No, that's the wrong guy.
Yeah, I don't think he's collecting Bigfoot pictures, Steve.
Yeah, I came up with the same thing. I'm not seeing who she's talking about here.
But Leo A. Frank.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Steve, use your powers of investigation. I know you're rusty.
Oh, Bigfoot picture by Leo A. Frank, exclusive.
Exclusive
on Pinterest, yes.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay. Leo A. Frank hasn't captured shit. Could I do a screen share?
Yeah, screen share it. We'll take a look at it.
This is just the first picture.
Let's beat the shit out of it. Sorry, Alicia and
First
Scotty.
picture.
What?
First picture. First picture I found. Let's see if it comes up. Yeah. No.
I think I've seen that one before.
Yeah. Bullshit.
I think I've seen that before somewhere. I want to say.
It's just your everyday normal fucking blob squatch.
Yeah.
There's nothing impressive about that picture. Yeah, you could maybe say there's a face here, but it's pareidolia.
But yeah, pareidolia is run rampant in pictures all the time.
This isn't any more impressive than any other blob squatch picture I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, just yeah.
I've seen. I mean, we've seen a ton of shit. We saw a fucking fallen over tree that was claimed to be a Sasquatch. So
I'll look around. I mean, I'll end this thing. Yeah, I'll look around and see if there's any more impressive pictures. But
Colonel Chubb's Ohio Grassman, Steve.
I've never seen him.
Never seen the Ohio Grassman.
Oh,
but do you actively go looking for him? That's the question that you really got to ask yourself.
Oh boy. I'm going to scream and share again.
Okay. All right.
Oh, I messed up.
Yeah,
Sorry.
see? What are you doing, Steve?
There it is.
Technology is not your friend tonight.
That's very Todd Standing-ish. Just saying.
Yeah, it is. It is. And
Just saying.
I mean, okay, so if he's got pictures this fucking good of him, why don't we have more than this? Would be my question right out of the gate. As with,
How the fuck does he get so close to these things?
And it's like the same thing with like video. Phil Poling would always say, "Where is the rest of the video? Where's the rest of this?" Would be my question. Like, what's the bigger story? Yeah, so it looks like a fucking dude.
It's nice. I mean, it's a good picture. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I'm not shitting on that. But what's the story? Like, Steve came across this fucking picture that looked really fucking good once. And he came to me and he said, "Chris, look at this thing, this fucking guy. He's solid. Talk to him. It's the shit." And I looked at the photo and I was like, "Yeah, it looks good, but hey, fucking run with it." And come to find out, the picture was a fake head in a museum. So I don't just take anybody's word for fucking anything anymore.
Yeah, I'll share that one too.
Oh, the Norm Glasser photo?
Sure.
We'd love this photo. It's the best.
This is unsquatchable. I can't get, but that's the photo.
Yeah, this was the photo. And that's actually a fake Bigfoot head in, what is it, in a glass case, Steve?
Yeah, it's in a glass case, and it's not even a Bigfoot head. I forget what it's supposed to be. It's been a while, but
yeah. So I just don't take anything at fucking face value anymore.
There's good old Phil Poling's video on it.
Oh yeah, good old Phil.
Why didn't they link my video?
Because you stink compared to Phil. Phil's the man. Phil's the breakdown man. Although I still haven't seen his dog man video. That motherfucker, he got me. I don't know what the fuck he was trying to upload. I don't know how many fucking Mai Tais or whatever the fuck he had that night, but he did not upload a dog man video, but it was titled Dog Man. Ed Bartle, the Freeman footage was pretty convincing. I was scared to shit when I saw the Patterson Gimlin footage as a kid too. They called me Chicken of the Woods when I was little. Dad and Grandpa used to do the howls and scare me shitless. Yeah, when I saw that fucking thing, I can't remember what I saw it on. It was before Unsolved Mysteries. I know that I had seen it, and I was petrified because I lived in a very, very rural area. It was all woods all around my house. And my parents I was a latchkey kid, and my parents would go out to like parties and stuff and just fucking lock the house up and leave me sitting home watching TV. And that shit scared the fuck out of me. Like, I was always like, something fucking looking in the windows, man.
I don't remember that thing scaring me, but there was a movie I saw, and I wish I could remember what movie it was, but it was an old, poorly done 1970s Bigfoot movie.
Oh yeah.
The only thing I remember, the only thing I remember, it wasn't Boggy Creek. I know that because I've watched Boggy Creek, and the scene that I remember is not in the Boggy Creek movie. So, but the only thing I remember is these kids were in a truck, and the Bigfoot came up and started beating on the windows and shit. Rocking the truck. And I wish I could remember what movie that was in, but I can't because I'd like to see it again. But
right.
That scared the fuck out of me. That was the first Bigfoot movie that ever scared could be Creature from Black Lake. I'll look that up. Yeah.
There you go, Steve. That's what the fans are for. That's what they're for.
It was a very hokey movie. Even as a kid, I knew it was
Well, Legend of Boggy Creek's a hokey movie.
But it's good.
Yeah, I mean, sucks I had to pull it from the channel. way back.
Yeah. Well, I actually talked to the lady who owns the rights now.
Yeah.
The guy's son. Yeah, I agreed to pull it for my channel. She was gonna, sue me.
Yeah. Was she gonna sue you?
She said that
people.
might be it. That might be the movie.
That might be
1970. That would be about the right time. It was they played it on like a Friday night on TV.
Oh,
Like
they've.
the movie
See,
of the week.
mine.
Shit.
The ones that I always watched were Sunday afternoons. The creature feature movies.
It could have been. It could have been then too. No, this was at night. I distinctly remembering it was at night. I distinctly remembering me being at my grandparents, who were very rural. We had a farm. My grandparents had a farm, and I grew up there. And it was pitch black at night, and that's what. And then just seeing these, yeah, no.
Yeah, it was pitch black in my house at night. And like I said, we were in the middle of the woods, basically. Like it was all woods around me. And I'd sit in the living room and watch TV, and there was the window on the side beside the TV, off to the side of the TV, and I'd fucking just look out that window like, is anything fucking looking in at me? Am I alone?
I'll tell you though that I was born in 71. This came out in 76. I don't know when they played it on TV. Probably right around that same time. As a young kid, 6 years old, I guess I would have known. Not even 6, 5 years old, seeing a movie like that. Yeah, it's one of my childhood memories that I still fucking remember. I might have seen it in the early 80s, but even 10 years old, seeing something like that scared the fucking shit out of me, and for a lot of years too.
It's weird, that stuff when you're a kid that really fucking scares you, like that sticks with you.
Yeah.
Like for some reason when I was a kid, sorry to step on you, Katie, but when I was a fucking kid, there was this, I want to say it was a TV movie, and I can't remember what the fucking movie was about. I don't know because I never saw it, but the previews for it was like of this evil scarecrow. And to this day, I can still remember how fucking frightened I was as a child of that trailer. Ugh, just scary shit. What were you going to say, Katie?
I just kind of feel like I missed out on the fear aspect of it. I'm a generation younger, and my first exposure was Harry and the Henderson, which I know that's super lame.
Oh, yeah.
I get it.
No.
But that was my first exposure. And then from there, we had like scholastic book fairs at school and stuff. And I always
My friend, the
got
Bigfoot.
those Bigfoot things. And now those were a little more scary, but it was never a fear thing for me. It was always just sheer fascination of some creature that science hasn't found yet. So I was never afraid of Bigfoot.
I was never either, except for that. And the reason I think I was is because it made it real. It made it seem real.
Yeah.
Like my uncle forced me to watch Amityville Horror as like a 10-year-old. Didn't bother me at all. I wasn't scared by it, nothing. My sister is still terrified of that movie. But for me, no. I mean, it doesn't seem real. Bigfoot, on the other hand, seemed really real. Or this swamp creature, whatever he was.
Yeah,
and
no.
If I can remember it from way back then it fucking scared me.
Yeah, I always thought that Bigfoot came off as something that was possible.
Snow Beast is an awesome movie. I actually had a copy of that on VHS, and because it was worth a few bucks, I sold it. But I should have. Yeah, that was a good one. I should have made a digital copy of that one and kept it for myself. But
yeah,
there's a few Bigfoot movies out there. If you found an original VHS of this creature from Black Lake, it's probably worth a few bucks because they were low produced things. They didn't even release this one on DVD till 2005. So
yeah. That's some old school shit.
Vintage horror movies, man. They're worth bucks, most of them.
Yeah. Well, what makes things worth money is their scarcity.
Oh yeah, and I'm not talking the well-known The Shining. That's worth whatever a VHS tape is, 25 cents. I'm talking this real obscure shit like Creature from the Black Lake and Snow Beast, and
Right.
that stuff just does super well if you can find it, and it's worth keeping. What was the one I have upstairs? I can't even think of it right now. I think I showed it to you, didn't I? I got that horror VHS.
I hope you showed me nothing from your collection upstairs.
Not that collection, the other collection.
I'm pretty sure I don't want to see what Bigfoot's doing in that movie.
But anyway, so that stuff is cool. But watching it now, if I watched this movie now, it wouldn't have fazed me at all. But as a kid, though, shit, man.
Oh yeah, and I mean, listen, I've been out in the field. You know, for there are people who might think that I've just sat, back behind my microphone and never done anything. For years and years, I was a serious hiker, and I've gone to many of these quote unquote sites. Been out on a few, I guess you could call them expeditions. Steve, could I call them that?
No,
no,
baby.
No, yeah. So I went to the famed Smeha site where he supposedly shot a Bigfoot and two baby Bigfoots or juvenile Bigfoots, supposedly.
Then he strangled one of them to death.
Oh, yes. And I've been to where the Grays Harbor thermal footage was shot. And didn't see anything there when I was there. Had some coyotes come in. And I didn't, I ran into a bear at the Smeha site. And then I got together with Bill Brock and Dax Rushlow.
Those were the days.
And went out into the woods in Maine to a spot where there was a sighting, not local to me, but up north a ways. And went out into the middle of the woods, and didn't run into anything that night. We heard a fox at one point, and a couple of other critters, but no Bigfoots. But I've been out and I've done some of these things, and I've talked to a lot of different people that are in the field. I want to see something concrete, and that's, like I said, when it comes to the DNA evidence, don't give me some amateur motherfucker, because for me, it's just not solid enough. Like, give me a fucking scientific crew that's out there doing something. But that's the problem. There's not enough. There's not enough
interest. Yeah.
Right. There's not enough scientific interest, but there's not enough interest overall. Like, there is a hubbub about Bigfoot, but there isn't enough interest, across humanity to have enough money out there to say, all right, let's look into this. But for me personally, until that happens, until there's serious scientific research going on out there that isn't just backyard people giving me bullshit, which that's what I've seen time and time again. I've
even the ones who have some sort of scientific training are full of shit. All of them. Like Meldrum. Yeah. I'm sorry. Sorry to say it.
What's come out of the Olympic project?
Zero.
Yeah. Show me something. I've asked for something to be shown to me.
Meldrum used to be exciting. Like, I used to be excited by his involvement, but that just went downhill, and it's like, oh man, like I used to have so much faith.
One defining moment with Meldrum.
Yeah.
And all I got to say is one word: standing.
Standing.
Exactly.
Todd
Well,
Standing.
now all Meldrum can do is battle back to get his credibility back. And that's all.
I don't think he's even trying anymore. I think he's given up.
Why not? Why?
Right.
Yeah. So
he never really made any money.
Jeff, how come you can't come do the show now?
So even when you get somebody sciencey involved, they're usually a fringe scientist or somebody who already had some sort of preconceived idea.
Well, actually, that was the one teeny tiny little tidbit in this stupid Expedition Bigfoot teaser. If one thing stood out to me in that, it is the fact that there was a legitimate leader of a UCLA science lab.
Have we looked into this person?
No, I did not, and I will admit that. But
send me the information and just the name. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. And so that was like the one thing that stood out to me is like, hey, UCLA is a very reputable university.
Sure,
so
absolutely.
For them to allow their name to be slapped onto this, like that was just one little sparkle that stood out to me in the heap of crap that it is.
Colonel Ed, go ahead.
Ed's got a good point. He's a tenured professor. He has no worries except for his credibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, but his college always let him mess around, with this subject.
Yeah.
They knew it. But
they gave him a lot of leeway.
Chubb says Rick Dyer gave us a black eye too. Every fucking Bigfoot researcher has given us a fucking black eye. Every single, including me, when I was doing it, because I believed, we all have done it.
Oh yeah, we all fall prey to our biases.
Yeah, we backed SMEA for a long time.
Yeah,
and the whole Team Taser bullshit.
I met Justin, and I don't know if you remember me saying this. I said it to Matt. I know that for sure. But my first impression of him was that he was a prankster.
Yeah, you told me that.
It was the first fucking thing I thought.
When you met him, you told me.
Yep. It was right off the bat. He liked fucking with people, and it kind of. I still gave him leeway with that. I was still like, well, maybe he just likes to fuck around. But as things went on, and as I saw him more and more, I was just like, nah, this isn't good. And I wonder, I would fucking love to talk to Catino at this point about the Smeha situation.
Bart? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'd love to know what his fucking take is at this point.
I don't think Bart's always been,
Oh yeah. Bart's very, 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 very level. It would just be
politically correct. Yeah, he wants to, he wants to be friends with people, and I get that. He doesn't want to piss anybody off.
He would smooth that like Skippy.
Yeah, you're not going to hear anything bad from Bart. Yeah. Either way,
Yeah, no, I've met Bart. He's a good
Bart
guy.
was one of the better guys in the field. I liked him.
Yeah.
Now, was he legit? I don't know. I don't think any of us are legit. That we're doing it ever. None of us are legit because none of us know anything. Because we haven't. If we did, we'd have found this fucking thing.
At this point,
exists. Yeah, you would think by now.
If it's as prevalent as it seems to be, with all these quote unquote sightings, if it's as everywhere as it's presumed to be, then where the fuck is it? Now, why haven't we run into more? That's my question.
And why isn't Leo Frank on the nightly news, being touted as this great scientific discovery he found? Because it's bullshit. Sorry to our listener that we probably lost over that one. But.
I mean, I hope not. Like, that's just, we've seen so much stuff that I personally, like, literally, I'm at a point where it's like, drag it into the middle of the town fucking square, and then I'll believe it at this point. Like, I don't even think DNA evidence would make me feel okay. You know what I mean? I need to. Yeah.
And the problem with Smia's case is that he had an answer for everything. And he was very good at it. I mean, I tried to catch a dude in a lie and I couldn't do it. I mean, we had many conversations behind the scenes and Chris was there for him. I couldn't catch the guy in a lie. I just couldn't do it.
I had dinner with the guy.
Yeah,
twice.
he even said something about some rock band he was in, punk band that he was, he toured with such and such. No, MXPX. He was the opening band for MX. So I went to my brother to find out because my brother's in that world. Yep, sure enough, I couldn't catch the dude in a lie. Couldn't.
Right.
I wanted to. I tried. So that made me start believing the dude. I was a skeptic at first, but then, of course, nowadays we understand that it was all for
I know we promoted it. We promoted a
bullshit documentary.
It was to make money.
Apparently.
I don't know how much it was to make money for Justin.
No. I don't think originally it was Justin's original story is detached from what happened in the end. I'm pretty sure. I don't think they knew each other. I think Smiha or Ro Shahibi saw Sahibi. I can't even remember.
Sahibi,
yeah. Ro and Sean, they saw an opportunity and they took it.
Oh, they lunged at it.
Yeah. Because that story was hot at the time. It's not now. Obviously, nobody even fucking remembers.
Fuck Dean Cooper. Hey, I'm here. Go fuck yourself,
There
Dean. I needed you like over an hour ago.
Now his bird identifies as a parrot.
Yeah.
A parrot,
so I don't even know what the fuck it is at this point. It could be a fucking toucan. Fuck. God damn it, Dean. I can't rely on you for shit.
What is it? Macaw?
It's a fucking parakeet.
Oh, parakeet.
Alicia and Scotty, what if the scientists ain't looking because they already know what it is? Human experiments and shit. Of course, they wouldn't tell us because they would have to explain what they have been doing to people.
I mean, I suppose. I think that's pretty far-fetched.
Yeah, I think that's extremely far-fetched. I'd be more inclined to believe that the dude is hoaxing it over that. If it is, show me some more proof. I'd be more than happy to accept it if there's proof. And there's tons of ways to get proof. If he's getting all these pictures of him, show me some other proof.
Well, if you go back to somebody like Leo, and we've seen a bunch of guys like that. What was Ed Waterman, for example, who's I believe passed away now. Same thing. Well, I'll give you more evidence when you're ready for it, or I can't do this because of that. I guarantee you, it's the same fucking story. Same fucking story that we've seen 10,000 times, at least.
Yeah.
Leo Frank is going to be the same guy as Ed Waterman was. Maybe not as
well. I mean, hey, like I said, if this Leo Frank guy can present something more than just that, I would be more than happy to look at it and make a judgment from there.
Still pictures mean shit.
Yeah,
even
that's
video
the problem.
Nowadays means shit.
Yeah, have you seen the fucking Tom Cruise deep fakes? I mean, come on. They're fucking amazing.
Why doesn't Todd Standing have real clear video of these things, but yet he has real clear photos of this thing? Same with Leo Frank. Why doesn't he have real clear video if he can get real clear photos like that?
Right.
Because it's bullshit. That's why.
Is Waterman the same guy who supposedly had all pics from Ohio?
I don't think so.
No, I don't. Yeah.
I don't know what pics from Ohio you're referring to, but Waterman was from Washington State, I think. He was from Oregon, maybe. I don't know. He was fucking nuts, is what he was.
I guess the ultimate thing is when you've seen as much bullshit as we've seen over the years, I'm not going to just take a look at a picture and go, this is real. It's just not going to happen.
We knew Bobo and Cliff and those guys behind the scenes. And Cliff had a really great picture. And he had it on his phone. I seen that really great picture. It was just a picture. There was nothing great about it. It was no better than Leo's shit. It was actually worse than Leo's shit. So when
I
saying,
like Cliff. Cliff's a nice guy.
Cliff.
I mean, I've interviewed him a couple of different times, and I met him. A decent guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And do I think that he's trying? I think to some degree, yeah. I think that he's also trying to get a paycheck. That stuff that he did for finding Bigfoot. They were
Teach
getting
children,
paid.
look for Bigfoot. Teach children. I mean, it just makes sense which way you're going to go there.
I mean, hey, and good on him.
But
in and of itself,
I don't have any doubt. Bobo, I have my doubts about. Moneymaker for certain.
The Incredible Shrinking Bobo. I think
Cliff,
fucking somebody needs to look into if a gypsy fucking passed Bobo somewhere and fucking said thinner, because that motherfucker's getting really tiny.
Cliff, though, Cliff, I think was a stand-up dude. I really like the guy, and I've had the opportunity twice, I think, to interview him. So,
yeah. And I met the whole crew when I was over at the Bigfoot Museum when they did that signing thing there, and I met Tyler Bounds, who actually did a lot of the footwork for them out in the field.
Who claims to have hit a Bigfoot with his car?
Did he?
During one of the filmings, but of course,
Good old Tyler.
How come only Bigfoot people get this sort of experience? How come only people who believe in Bigfoot have that kind of experience where they hit up with a car?
I don't know.
Because either they want, it's probably a deer if he hit anything. I guess there was pictures, I think, of the car, but obviously no DNA evidence came from it.
Well,
which you would have, because the hair would get stuck in the fucking car.
Oh yeah, there'd be tons of DNA evidence on that motherfucker. You hit one.
Come on.
I mean, call the fucking DNA guy. Who was the DNA guy there that we all used to know there? What was his fucking name? Todd something.
Oh,
Dissatel. Dissatel. Call fucking Todd Dissatel. Get that motherfucker over there to swab that hood. If there's any Bigfoot DNA, he'd find it.
I've said it 1,000 times, and I'll say it 1,000 more if I have to. If I put a ghost hunter and a Bigfoot hunter and a UFO guy in the same patch of woods at the same time, they're all going to see something different. The Bigfoot guy is going to see a Bigfoot, ghost hunter is going to see a ghost, and the UFO guy is going to see an alien or a UFO. It's just the way it is.
Some of the Bigfoot people see alien UFOs and Bigfoot at the same time.
Now, obviously, it's not going to happen if I put 3 people in the woods at the same time. Just saying, that's the experience. If you're looking for it, you're going to see it.
That's what you're going for. Yeah.
Now, Dissatel, I think Dissatel was a real, scientist. He was always a skeptic.
Yeah. I think Dissatel did the good work.
Actually, I think I did interview Dissatel when I was on Richter's show, but
yeah, you did. I remember it.
So, stand-up guy again. He, of course, was in the show for a paycheck, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
He's gone to the wayside. You haven't heard from him in a long time.
Oh, hell no.
Because there's no money in it.
He's just fucking doing DNA tests now.
But you know what? He was more than willing to do those DNA tests. Guess how many were proven to be anything other than some normal, everyday animal or human? 0.
None. Yeah.
So there's a scientist who actually was trying.
Yeah, and he just kept coming up with nothing. So it's disheartening. And for those of us, like I said, for those of us who have been in it for a long time, and Steve and I have been doing this type of thing, where we look at this stuff regularly since 2013, and about a year and a half before that too. Like, we were just hardcore, like, looking at Bigfoot stuff a lot. I was at that point in my life, I was in recovery. Like, I was fucking, I'm an addict, and I've been fucking sober since 2011, and I needed to fill up my time with other shit, so I started checking into Bigfoot stuff, because at the time I wasn't working, so I just was filling my time with that, and constantly looking at fucking Bigfoot photographs and people's fucking evidence, and I've seen a lot of it.
Got another
And I've heard a lot of bullshit stories too.
I got another example. Ed mentioned, the experience everybody had. Let's put 3 people in a house, and some sort of tapping on the window happens. Your Bigfoot guy's going to think that's a Bigfoot out there tapping on the window, right? Remember the alien that peeked through the window, that old bullshit footage?
Oh yeah.
Your UFO guy's going to see that, and your ghost guy obviously is going to think ghost. It doesn't have to be woods. It can be any other type of situation like that. It's just the way it's going to be. Yeah, we've had a lot of people say, "Oh, I heard Bigfoot rapping on the outside of my house," but yet there's no footprints, there's no hair, there's no photos, there's no nothing, ever. And then when there is, it's Leo Frank shit,
or it's very blurry shit, or it's grainy video footage.
I still point back to this footage back here as the best that we've had. And, that's debated. You can't prove this one is real or fake. With all the debates that's gone on, how are you going to prove any of the rest of this shit is real or fake?
Yeah. It's a conundrum. Like, I don't know. Will we ever find out? If somebody drags a body in, yeah, I think so.
I think it's still, as skeptical as we've been, it's still plausible.
Oh, yeah. Plausible. Yeah. I want to see fucking, a patty fucking creature walk out of the woods. Like, I'd be fucking cool with that. I'm not against it. I'm not trying to shoot it down. I just want the research to be solid. That's it. That's all I'm asking for.
And, we've been leaning lately towards the UFO stuff being a possibility at this point because with the weird shit coming out. So show us good evidence, show us pilots who have seen this stuff, that kind of
and it gives it more fucking credibility.
Right. But if you just have some dude taking photos with no other evidence, it's not gonna
it's blowing smoke up my ass for the most part. And sorry, maybe I'm too jaded, but that's the way it is. And I'm not gonna lie to anybody. I'm not gonna sit there and say exactly what somebody wants to hear. Show me good solid evidence. I'll fucking look at it, and if it's good, I'll back it. Like Steve was saying, the stuff that's been coming out that the fucking Pentagon's been releasing, and that some of these pilots have been talking about, some pretty solid shit. So
those are the types of witnesses you want. You want somebody who knows how to fly an aircraft explaining why that aircraft is not flying correctly.
Right.
You want that. You don't want, me going out in the woods and telling you, something about a Bigfoot when I have no experience with primates at all.
Right.
That's
right.
Just now,
when they did Monster Quest and they had that, what was his name? Alberto Sarmiento or what? It was the primate specialist.
Yeah.
That's the type of guy you need on these expeditions. You need a fucking, not fucking Bill and Tim from fucking Tractor Supply, who weekend go looking for Bigfoot. Like, and I'm not saying that Bill and Tim from Tractor Supply can't do any research.
Sure,
I'm not saying that. But is their research going to be looked at? How is it going to be looked at? And I think that's what we need to start, focusing more on is the hardcore, real scientific research, not, armchair scientists. Not that they're bad, but that, there's been way too much muck. That's the problem.
It's because you get opportunists in any of these fields where you can't prove anything. You get opportunists, and that's why it's the way it is.
Yeah, you get people like Rick Dyer.
Yeah.
So, but that's another story for another time, Steve. We've done it many times. So, anyhow, on that note, this has been the Fortean Slip, episode 178, Bigfoot DNA. If you like this shit, hit that little thumbs up, happy heart, huggy thing on Facebook. You can give us a little thumbs up on YouTube. I don't know what they do on Twitch.
They twitch.
Well, Twitch. If you're listening on Twitch, just in place, just Twitch. I don't know
Or
that's going to do anything
Maybe
for
they
me.
twerk.
I don't know. As always, go check out our good friend Dred Funn at dredfunn.com and youtube.com/Dred Funn. Next week, we will have Bronx Johnny on the show. He's over at gasdigitalnetwork.com, at High Society Radio. Check out the Bigfoot, I got Bigfoot on the brain now. The Fortean Slip bedtime stories. I've been doing those pretty regularly. I just did a Robert E. Howard Conan, the first Conan story that he wrote or had published anyway. And I did another Edgar Allan Poe, and I recently did Edgar Rice Burroughs At the Center of the Earth, I think it's called. It was 5 hours of reading. That's all I know. So
that's way too much.
That's way too much for you?
I want to say, Ed, it was good to have you. You said he's been listening for a long time. This is the first time he's
oh, yeah.
Ed.
Well, good to have you on, Ed.
Sounds like you're level-headed.
For those of you that are listening on YouTube or on Twitch, go over to facebook.com/Fortean Slip. That's the like page. I post all kinds of different shit there. The show, the Fortean Slip bedtime stories. It's all there. So, and later on tonight, the show will be up on Anchor at anchor.fm/the Fortean Slip. If you'd like to support the show, you can go there. You can donate money every month. I think the lowest you can do is 99 cents a month, which there is a gentleman that does. And there's a gentleman that does $4.99 a month, and his name is Fuck Dean Cooper. I'll call him out, and Les is the other guy. So anybody that wants to support the show, you're more than welcome to. You can go over to anchor.fm/the Fortean Slip. And I believe it's under support or something like that. If you'd like to, you're more than welcome. But the show will be up at everywhere you can download the podcast. iTunes, not iTunes. That's gone now. It's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, fucking Spotify. There's a bunch of other ones. I don't know what they're fucking called, but check it out. We will be back next week. I have to figure out a topic because I want to throw a topic at Mr. Bronx Johnny, but we will be back with the one, the only Bronx Johnny.
I got a topic.
What?
Birds that are confused about their gender.
Fuck you, Steve. And we'll figure out a topic. And yes, Dean. Yes.
I don't know what that means.
Whatever. And we'll figure out a topic and we'll throw it at Bronx Johnny if he shows up. I'm hoping he does. If not, then we'll just talk about a topic. So until next week, see ya!